Deacon Dan again with Reflection Tuesday for June 2nd, 2020. Some time ago I was a store detective. I specialized in catching shoplifters. And one day during my lunch break, I was sitting in the food court eating my lunch when I heard a woman's voice say, "Oh, look, Jesus found us a table." And I looked up and I saw a young woman with a toddler, maybe 2.5, 3 years old. So I thought, okay, that's fair. Jesus found you a table. And they sat down, and the little boy said, "Mommy, I'm really hungry." And Mom said, "Don't worry, Jesus will get us food for lunch." Well, okay. Now in a few minutes, Dad showed up with a Happy Meal for the little boy. They held hands, they said a prayer, and then the toddler immediately grabbed a French fry, but he dropped it just as quick as he picked it up. And with a painful look on his face, with his bottom lip sticking out a little, he said, "Mommy, these French fries are really hot." It's true, they were hot. I mean, even I could see the shiny hot oil on the fries myself. And then Mom said, "Don't worry, Jesus will cool your French fries." And when I heard that, I looked over at the little guy thinking, uh-oh. And before his parents could move, the little boy grabbed a French fry with his tiny fingers, and as fast as he could, he bit half of it off and started to chew. The toddler then let out the scream of screams as that very hot French fry peeled a layer of skin off the roof of his mouth. And as I observed this whole episode, I realized that the moral of the story is this. Sometimes Jesus expects us to cool our own French fries. Or stated a little differently, sometimes Jesus expects us to pull our own weight. Now, this isn't something new. In 2 Thessalonians, the people are told to pull their own weight. Hey, you don't work? You don't eat. Sounds fair to me. I think this is especially important as churches across the country get ready to open up again. We need to pull our own weight to make sure that church reopenings are successful and we don't have to shut down again. So, how much weight should we each pull? Well, another job I had, for some 25 years, I was a clinical member of the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. And in counseling sessions, couples would tell me that they believed marriage was a 50-50 arrangement. That's not true. Marriage is never a 50-50 proposition. It's a 100-100 proposition, always, or it doesn't really work. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's even more than that. If your spouse is sick or injured or is somehow less than 100%, maybe all they have today is 80%, then you're responsible to make up that 20% on their behalf. That means you go to 120% yourself. You pull your weight and some of your spouse's weight as well, but it's never 50-50. It should be the same way for us as our churches open up again. As Christians, we should be used to the concept of the church being called the bride of Christ, which makes Jesus the bridegroom. I think the same logic from our marriages applies here. It's not a 50-50 situation. We're expected to pull our own weight. We're expected to pull more than that when we can, for those who can't make it to 100% on any given day. Well, to do that, we need to follow the leader as much as humanly possible. We all know that Jesus is the leader, and I have never heard anyone say, Jesus died for us only 50% or 80%. Jesus was all in. That should be our target. All in. So, as we get ready to open our churches, be ready to go to 100% or as close as you can when they ask for help, when they ask for volunteers, and especially when they ask for cooperation with required changes. For sure, there's going to be new procedures. Face masks, hand sanitizer, reduced seating, very little singing, and social distancing. Now, we should not for 1 minute be surprised by any of this. Does anyone think God is surprised by any of this? No? Okay, then please Cool your own French fries. Wear the mask. Volunteer. Cooperate with the new requirements. Keep your distance. And as much as you can, help everyone with everything in every way that you can. And don't worry, God knows what you're capable of. If you can't make it to 100% on any given day, then the rest of us will cover for you. That's what Christians do. We do what Jesus would do. We include everyone and care for everyone. We just have to follow the leader. Okay. Peace be with you. Stay healthy. Help each other. Do your part. And where you can, cool your own French fries. And maybe some of your neighbors too. See you next week.